Perfection isn't easily achieved. It takes hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Through their commitment to excellence, Sage Fruit Company has been supplying customers with the best tree fruit in the Pacific Northwest for over 3 generations. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide consistent, high-quality apples and pears all year long. Look for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sage Fruit stage here at Davenport Speedway. We're in Davenport, Iowa. It is the final night for the My Place Hotels Quad Cities 150 presented by Hoker Trucking. My name is Rob Klepper alongside Mike Warren. And right in the middle, last night's winner, defending series champion with the Extreme Outlaw Midgets, Mr. Zach Daum. Of course, the World of Outlaw Case Construction Equipment late models on tap tonight as well. An 80-lap feature there. A lot of money on the line, $30K to the winner. But glad that we could have Zach Daum up here on the stage with us here today. Zach, thanks for taking some time. I know you just got done with the autograph session. You get to miss the driver's meeting this way, my friend, so worked out pretty good for you. But let's talk about last night. The 7U was working pretty well down low, a place you like to run. But we were talking earlier on how good the track was and how good of a race we had with the midgets last night. Yeah, the track was really good there. I thought that they were screwing up when they went and reworked the whole thing, you know, because I thought after the heat races that we were going to have a really racy track. It was going to get slick, a little technical, and they went and farmed it, and it just became we were still able to race all over it, obviously, but it was different than what we had kind of planned on, but it ended up being a good race.
Now, I asked Chase this a couple of days ago. You know, Davenport for you guys is a bigger track than you'd see, you know, compared to the Action Track USAs and other tracks like that throughout the country. How do you set the car up differently, really, from those small tracks compared to the big tracks?
Once you get, it's just like anything else. Once you get in a window, you can run the same. You can run the same setup from Belleville, Kansas to Belleville, Illinois. With the exception of stagger, a little bit. Very minuscule changes, and you're pretty well in 90% of the racetracks.
Gained some points last night with the win, moved up to a 4th in the points, trying to defend that title you won in the inaugural season last year, just 97 points back. I think, we had 9 races left to go in this series. We're going to head to Paragon next week, Friday and Saturday, for a little Labor Day weekend spectacular. But we talked about this yesterday with some of the late model guys. You know, you've won championships before, a 3-time Power Ride champ. You know, you're within striking distances at this point. Is it all about, man, we just got to kind of win out and the points figure themselves out?
Yes and no. Obviously you just go for wins every night, and when you realize you don't have a car to win or you're not going to win, then you just try to maintain, you get a podium. You know, worst case scenario is you run 3rd. You know, like you're still on the podium, you still did as good as you can. But at the end of the day, like, we come here to win, so that's what we want to do. But when, you can't win everything, it's not humanly possible. Bobby Pierce hasn't even won all the races this year, so you can't have bad nights. That's where your bad night has to be a 3rd. That's how you win championships.
Now, for you this weekend, kind of double duty in a different sense. Of course, Nick Hoffman running this weekend. He's pulling double duty with the late model and the midget. We had him up here yesterday, and Rob, we have way too many St. Louis Cardinals fans up here. I'll just be the first one to mention that.
But I'm in the minority.
But, well, me too, because I'm a Yankee fan, but we'll let that slide. But how interesting has it been, putting that car together for Nick and seeing him on the racetrack with you, a guy that you pretty much grew up racing against?
Yeah, Nick and Gordy and, we're all from St. Louis area. Our dads all raced together. We started racing quarter midget at the same time. So now we've all had kids that are going to be within, a few years of each other. So we're probably going to be doing this for a long time together. So it's a lot of fun seeing him. Nick's a really, really good race car driver. He gets overlooked in our world, but he's really, really good. I think we give him a few more races before we can go to Chili Bowl, and he's gonna turn heads there. He's already done well there, but we can get him to a B or maybe sneak into the A main on Saturday. But we just need to see time in it. It's just different. Everything that he races, it's 180 degrees difference. Just the way the car handles it, where braking points, lift point, everything's just a little bit different. But he's a natural. He gets in it. He runs outlaw karts at Millbridge, and he's done all that stuff. So he just trying to get him comfortable in it, and he'll be fine.
For those of you just joining us live on Dirt Vision, we welcome you to the Sage Fruit stage here in Davenport, Iowa, the Davenport Speedway final night of competition here for the Quad Cities 150. The defending Extreme Outlaw Midget Series champ Zach Daum up on the stage. Last year, of course, driving from Bundy, went 9th and 2nd here at Davenport, won the championship. I know you were, that was big for you to win the inaugural championship with this new series. You said many times you only get a shot to do the first time, one time. So getting that done. But then this year decided you didn't really know what you were going to do if you were going to chase series points. Got your own car in the 5D, a new King chassis, kind of a new package for you guys, and then the 7U opened up. Tell me how that deal kind of came together.
My car was junk. After Millbridge, we destroyed a race car and was kind of out at that point in time, and 7U called and said we can maybe make a trial run that weekend, Granite City and then Wayne City, and we ended up winning both nights at Wayne City. We ran decent at Granite, and it just has parlayed into this. So obviously very thankful for them guys. It's a good group of guys. We all have a good time. We're all adults. We all sit around, drink beer at the end of it, and we just enjoy it. We have a good time, and we're fast. It's obviously a lot easier to have fun when you're fast. You're not burnt out on it. You're not at each other's throats because you're running 15th. It's when we're mad when we run 5th, so that's 5th it's not bad, but it's
no.
It's not good either. That's where we're at. So we've clicked on some things, and we've got the baseline of our car really, really close right now. So it's just fine tuning every night, and hopefully we hit it right.
Were you surprised as a driver on how quick you guys did kind of gel and basically right to victory lane once you got behind the wheel?
Yeah. Yes and no. Obviously, I've been racing midgets for a while, so I can kind of get a ballpark baseline set up for what I want, and what they had was pretty damn similar. So we didn't have much that we had to change, and we all worked together well. So we're able to get in our baseline and get a good setup underneath us right off the bat, and so. We all have the same cars. They're all Spikes with a Toyota or SR11, or they're a King or a Link or a Bullet, but they're all the same. It's just a midget.
Now, for you, trying to make this second championship run, you've seen this series grow over the 2 years. What's been like traveling to a few new places this year that you didn't see the first time around? That's
honestly the coolest thing. I've been trying to get him to go down through the South, and just going to new places is cool. Like when we would never get the chance to race here. We would never got to go to Atomic and Bush Creek or Brush Creek or wherever that was. A couple of those places, we're just not, midgets aren't known there, but it's fun to go race there. It's fun to get out of racing the same 6 racetracks. Indiana has a lot of great racetracks. I'm tired of running the same damn ones every week. Midget Week's the same thing every year. Well, let's go to new places. Let's explore and go and show. Hopefully we can show what midget racing is about and why it's one of the best forms of motorsports in front of new audiences every year.
Now, is there a place in particular that you really would like to see this series go?
I have a list wrote down that is the top 20 shitholes that we all need to go to. There's a lot of racetracks I think we need to go to. I don't know if all of them are safe enough for us to go to, but there's a list that I've got that I'm going to get to Bachman, and if we can get 10 races out of those, it'd be really cool.
This year, obviously, $80,000 points fund, $25K going to the champion at the end of the year. As you stated, bigger schedule, a lot of new racetracks. So they really stepped up their game for the second season with this Extreme Outlaw Midget Series Tour. You also have a couple series within a series. We just coming off that PA swing that paid some decent points money there, and of course the Extreme Power Ride Challenge deal, which you took the lead over Jade. I think now 14-point lead for you in that deal, paying out a little bit at the end of the year as well. So, for you as a driver and a guy that basically kind of does this for a living or a side hustle, if you will, you kind of got to like the way this series is going at this point, only in its second year.
Yeah, that's the cool thing with you have tow money, you have heat race money, you have hard charger money, and that's just, it doesn't look like much. It's $100 here, $100 there, whatever. That's your pit passes. That's half a tank or quarter tank of diesel. All that stuff adds up. So when you have to travel all the way to Pennsylvania and back, I mean, you're $2,500 in diesel. So if you can win a little mini championship there and that pays for your diesel, that's more money in your pocket at the end of the day. So I mean, obviously we're looking at the growth and expansion of the dirt weight model and the wing sprint car money right now, and it's unbelievable. So it's starting to trickle down in the midget stuff, and non-wing sprint cars are racing for 30 grand a night at Kokomo, and so it's really, really good for dirt racing. It's also, I think, hurting dirt racing in some aspects of it, but if you're a traveling guy, to get up and down the road, you got to have the money.
Now, when it comes to off the track, are you a guy that just sticks to racing in general, even as your hobbies, or do you get to do a few different things that you find fun?
No, I run a speed shop. I'm opening up a bar right now, so other than drinking and selling race car parts, that's what I got.
Hey, that sounds about right. There's nothing wrong with that.
32 years old, correct?
Yes.
Yes, 32, and we would call Zach Daum a veteran. I mean, all these young kids coming into midgets these days. You're one of the elder statesmen in midget racing, still doing it, quote unquote, full time. So, what's it like out there racing with these young kids? They're very aggressive out there on the racetrack, and you know, maybe they get behind a Zach Daum and say, I'm going to try and follow this guy and maybe learn something here tonight.
I mean, I hope they just stay behind him. You know, that's ideal. But no, just watching the way midget racing has transitioned from when I started to how it is now, and you just race so much harder than you ever did. You know, you could run the same front axle and Nerf bar all year on, you know, when I first started. If you got into somebody, it was a racing incident or something like that, you know, and no harm, no foul. And it just changed so much. I don't know if it's for the better or for the worse. It just changed. It's just, you know, it's evolution. So it's been frustrating at times to watch that a little bit, but it's the way it's going. And you know, if you watch it, well, outlaw sprint cars are the same way. They race hard now, so just part of it. And if you either adapt to it or you die, so that's part of it.
And you told me before we got on the Sage Fruit stage here today that you had the tongue hanging out last night. Even though running down the bottom, shortest way around, you said you didn't lift too much around Davenport here.
No, we ran 30 green flag laps, and I never fully got off the throttle one time. There's a couple times where I tried to roll out of it a little bit and try to get some wheel spin, try to make the car hop to get some wheel spin off, just because we were so locked down. But it just, I felt bad for the motor. I mean, it was 30 laps just wide open, and the only other time I've done that was Belleville, Kansas, and on a prelim night it was 25 laps, and I put my foot to the floor and never lifted, and it's like, man, we're asking a lot out of a motor and tires and everything at that point in time to not break. So I mean, that goes back to having a good maintenance program and, you know, just being with the good teams and all that, just to make sure you're able to do that.
And one last question we got for you, Zach, really, you know, one thing, you don't just compete here and on this side of the world, you go to New Zealand sometimes too. What's it like just going on the other side?
It's cool. It's the racing's a lot different. It's over there, it's more of a full contact sport. Tracks are just so much narrower than what they are here, and they're all smaller racetracks. You know, they don't have as good of guys. They don't have as many good guys. You know, there's 5 guys that can win every night over there, where over here there's, you know, 10. And just their beer tastes weird. They talk weird.
Well, they think we talk weird, though, right?
Nah, they think that, but
yeah, but we don't.
Yeah, I'm the minority over there, so I guess I am the weirdo. But it is a lot of fun. The weather's beautiful there, all year round, basically. But in the wintertime here, it's warm over there, so I enjoy going over there. We're trying to put together a car to go over there this year for at least a couple weeks. I got twins coming right around Christmas time, so I don't know if we'll make it over there this year, maybe after Chili Bowl, or I'm not sure yet, but we'll get back over there at some point in time.
Well, we want to say thanks for coming up here to the Sage Fruit stage. Good luck here tonight. Try and go back-to-back at Davenport. Have some fun here in the 7U, and good luck here for 30 laps on the quarter mile, my friend.
All right, thank you.
That's the defending Extreme Outlaw Midget Series champion, Zach Daum, joining us on the Sage Fruit stage. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Zach's going to go ahead and leave right now while I'm still talking. When we come back from break, Cannon McIntosh is going to be up here, the current series points leader with the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series. Daum's got stuff to do. We'll be right back after this.
I watched my first race yesterday.
You're on the team, kid. It's orientation day.
Hey, new guy, let's get you up to speed. Lunchtime! Your workspace is ready.
Looks like you got a corner office.
Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
Brake late with Smith Tie Complete Brake Systems, featuring the Supermax TPV 2-piece titanium vented rotor. Coupled with our band hub's unique shape, increases airflow through the rotor's curved internal vents we machine into each piece before being bonded together with 16 aircraft-grade titanium rivets. Complete your system with titanium piston calipers, front rotor, aluminum billet pedal, billet reservoir, master cylinder, lines, and quick disconnects, and you'll be unstoppable. Smith Titanium. We innovate.
Perfection isn't easily achieved. It takes hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Through their commitment to excellence, Sage Fruit Company has been supplying customers with the best tree fruit in the Pacific Northwest for over 3 generations. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide consistent, high-quality apples and pears all year long. Look for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
Since their 2001 inception, DMI Racing Components have changed the game. From open-wheel suspension, steering, and driveline components to their line of Bulldog quick change rears, they set the new standard for innovation, performance, and value. DMI and Bulldog products are backed by the best customer support in the industry with more than 150 years of race-winning experience. Let our experience help guide you to victory lane. We race, you race. Let's race together.
ARP, the ultimate fasteners for racing in the dirt. With high horsepower demands, ARP delivers maximum clamping force and performance. When failure on the dirt is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
Back live to Davenport Speedway here in Davenport, Iowa. We are on the Sage Fruit stage. It is the final night of competition for the My Place Hotels Quad Cities 150, presented by Hoker Trucking. Mike Warren down there. My name is Rob Klepper. Right in the middle here, the current points leader with Extreme Outlaw Midget Series, presented by Toyota, Mr. Cannon McIntosh. A solid podium finish last night, and you seemed a little happier in victory lane than we've seen you maybe the last month or so. Were we happy with the second run last night?
Yeah, I think it was good for us. We've kind of been working towards that. We've needed a result like that to get us back on our feet. So, yeah, like I was just telling you, I feel like expectations kind of fluctuate throughout the year depending on how the momentum has been flowing. And right now we needed kind of a momentum shift. And I think a second place finish, it's not a win, but it's a step in the right direction. So, just going to continue to keep working hard at it and finding that little bit more that we're looking for.
Now, you walk into tonight 24 points ahead of Jade heading into the second night of the Quad Cities 150. I know it's tough because for you guys, there's points on the line every time essentially you step out onto the racetrack. What's it like trying to balance that? We asked Zach Daum about it just a few seconds ago. You just go out and win and let it take care of yourself, or you being a little more cautious in certain spots?
Yeah, I feel like you try to go out there and not think about it, but at the same time, you have to keep it in mind with every decision you make on the racetrack because it's important. So, like you said, every time you go out, points are available. So, yeah, you want to qualify good, you want to heat race good, but at the end of the day, you don't want to do anything that takes yourself out of contention. So, yeah, 24 points is not much. It can be gone in a heartbeat. So, just got to keep trying to add on to it. We had a pretty big one that got just completely erased after just, a stretch of bad runs. So, just got to keep ticking away at it and see what we can do.
Is that a testament to the level of competition? I mean, we're in the second year with this series, and midget racing as a whole right now is just so competitive out there that you really got to be on top of your game every time you hit the track.
Yeah, everyone's been really fast lately. I feel like the KKM cars have got their new chassis figured out pretty well. And then there's so many other good cars now, and young guys getting better and better every time they come out. So, it's just getting tougher. And, I feel like we've kind of gotten behind the 8 ball. So while other people have been getting better, we've kind of went backwards. So you can tell, you can see it. And that's where we've been struggling so much. But I feel like, once we get it turned around, it'll be really good. And I think we're going the right direction. It's just got to keep working at it. It's a tough sport. Anyone that's been around it knows how it is. And it's when it's down, it's down. And when everything's going good, it can be it can be good for months and it can be bad for months. So you just have to ride the waves and just hold on.
Now, Davenport, one of the widest tracks you're going to see all year on the circuit. Do you prefer kind of a bigger track, quarter mile like this, or something just a little bit smaller?
I usually like smaller tracks. I feel like the racing's a little bit better. This is one of those tracks where it's pretty wide open most of the time. It seems pretty big for a quarter mile. So, yeah, I mean, it's not really. I feel like it's just so wide. It's hard to pass guys. Even throwing slide jobs, you have to run it so hard. And like last night, I threw a few that I ran it in there as hard as I could, and I still couldn't even get close to clearing a slider. So, it also depends on the surface. They worked it pretty good last night, and just completely had a brand new track by feature time. But I almost feel like the racing was better that way. I feel like when this place gets too slick, we're just kind of follow the leader around the bottom. So, I think I'm usually a smaller bull ring kind of guy, but I'm always try to be at my best on these bigger tracks and try and improve, just because I grew up running on bull rings. So, yeah, it's definitely not my forte, but I try to be better and better every time I get on the big tracks.
16 total wins this year, if my math is correct. 8 on the midgets, 8 in the micros. You're keeping an eye on Millbridge tonight. You got some cars running there. We talked yesterday with Nick and Gordy and guys like that about how the influence of micro racing is now, how huge micros are, and how much they can really prepare you, because they are now pretty close to a midget, maybe not horsepower wise, but maybe the way they drive. And right now it just seems like every driver coming out of micros just has that experience to get behind the wheel of a midget and excel.
Yeah, I think they're similar to midgets and sprint cars, and I think that's why. You see a lot of people that fire right off pretty well in a midget or a sprint car coming out of a micro. That's what I ran growing up. So, yeah, I think they're like chassis-wise and just suspension, it's all about the same. So, obviously less power, but I think it just teaches you well. And there's a lot of really good racetracks that run micros. I grew up running at Port City. Obviously, micros are expanding a lot in North Carolina too with Millbridge, and there's just a lot of talent that's been developed out of the micros. It's just been getting bigger and bigger. I feel like almost every state now has big micro racing a little bit, in different parts. So it's pretty cool to see how much it's grown. And yeah, like you said, watching a couple of my guys tonight running out in North Carolina, just watching that team develop as well, and hopefully get to see some talent develop through our team, and just it's just cool to see how far it's come.
Now, is it cool for you seeing that, just even though you're away from the track, seeing that team develop and just the success they start to get when they get better each and every week?
Yeah, it's been a learning curve for me, just being involved with that, and just every week learning new things. Just every day in the shop, I feel like you learn new stuff. So yeah, being able to work with new drivers has been cool, and I feel like we're gonna have plenty more to come. So just to be able to work with new drivers and see how different drivers kind of adapt to it, and different driving styles, it's been fun, and I think it's only going to get continue to get more fun, and just try and better our program every time we run. So yeah, we've had a couple new guys already that are getting better and better every time they go out. So I feel like it's not it's not me out here running the midget, but I feel like during the week it keeps me busy and always learning more about race cars and just racing in general.
Cannon McIntosh, our guest here on the Sage Fruit stage. If you're just joining us live on Dirt Vision, second place run last night here at Davenport Speedway. Gained about 17 points, I believe. Not about 17, actually 17 points in the chase for the championship over second place Jade Avedissian. Tonight, another 30-lapper here at Davenport. The age-old question, you practice night, we run a race night. Is there something during the feature last night where you said, man, if we would have just done this, I feel like maybe at those sliders I would have had a little bit better chance in making them, and maybe we'll make that transition for tomorrow night, meaning tonight?
Yeah, I don't feel like there was too much I could have done different. Even car-wise, I'm not sure how much better we could have gotten. I just feel like there was a couple cars in the field that just had that little bit of an edge, and it just almost felt like engine. I feel like I was wide open. I heard you talking to Daum, just tongue hanging out. That's how it seemed for me too. Just even trying to keep up with Hayden, I feel like I was running it as hard as I could. And then, that was just to stay with him. And then Thames is another straightaway ahead. And that's just me running as hard as I could. So it's pretty wild to see a couple guys, how much speed they had. I feel like there's a couple things maybe that Robert knows he can do. But in my head, I don't know exactly what that would be. I feel like, I just got to keep continuing to run the car hard and just give my best effort. And I feel like, I think we just need a little more wheel spin off the corner. That's going to be the biggest thing. Just track had a lot of moisture in it, and if you're going to try and run the bottom, you slow it down so much. I feel like you lug the engine down so much on entry, and then with it being so gripped up, it's hard to get it out of the corner. So, yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest challenge, is just getting wheel spin and trying to come off the corner with the most speed, really.
Is that just freeing the car up, or is it, do you go to a gear change? Because if you do a gear change kind of to run the bottom, maybe that hurts you when you decide to go to the top and take the long way around.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is, you want to change gear to try and better yourself on exit, but you start to hurt yourself more on entry than just running out of speed, really. So you obviously don't want to get gear bound. And I feel like we may make a little bit of a change and see if we can just be on the chip a little bit harder on the end of the straightaway, but be able to come off a lot better. So yeah, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot by changing too much, but I feel like there's maybe a little bit of adjustment you can make. But it seems like qualifying is around the top here, so I don't think you have to do too much. It's really just mile per hour at that point, where the bottom, I feel like it's a little different. I feel like you can get away with changing the gear a little more, but yeah, I feel like qualifying and early, you still want to be able to have that mile per hour.
Now, it's a little bit cooler today than it was yesterday. Actually, the last 2 days with you on the racetrack. Do you feel like it's going to change the track in any way and how you would set up the car at all?
I don't know if it's going to do much. I feel like they've done a really good job with track prep, so I feel like as much as I want to say it's going to have more moisture, I don't really see that being the case. I feel like they've been pretty on top of it. So it's a little windy now too, so it may just dry itself out just as much, even though it's cooler. But yeah, I feel like track's going to be similar. I feel like it's about what it was last year too. So I think if they stay on top of it, we'll see about the same thing.
How cool is it chasing points with the Extreme Series now, full-time round and limited schedule last year, but getting to race, and being at the racetrack, obviously you're a big race fan at heart as well, but to run with the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink sprint cars and to run with the Case Construction late models, throughout the year, I mean, that's got to be pretty cool for you guys to be at the same track with these different types of race cars throughout the year.
Yeah, it is. I think it's even cooler for the fans. They get to see the best of the best in the sprint cars, best of the best in late models, best of the best in midgets. So, it's pretty cool for them to, when those guys get to come together, and some kids, heroes, are out here racing. So it's cool for them. It's cool for us too, just to have so much talent at one place, and just seeing the way guys race on the same racetrack, like just the differences of like a late model to a midget on the same racetrack, or a sprint car to a midget. It's just cool to see. So yeah, definitely it's I guess it's better than some support classes you'd see. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool to have both of those classes together when you can.
Now you just got to get a wing sprint car put together and a dirt late model put together, and you'll have them all covered.
You got it.
Well, good luck here tonight, man. Night number 2 of the Quad Cities 150. One spot better. I'm sure you're looking forward to getting back up on top of the box and padding that points lead. So thanks for coming by the Sage Fruit stage. Cannon McIntosh, have a good night here tonight at Davenport, my friend.
Thank you.
We're going to take another break for those of you watching live on Dirt Vision. When we come back, we have a couple Dirt Late Model stars that are going to join us here up on the Sage Fruit stage, so don't go anywhere. More pre-race show coming at you after the break.
To win here at Kokomo Speedway, it's going to be Cannon McIntosh, 08, victorious tonight.
I use Seafoam motor treatment in my truck's gas tank to keep fuel injectors clean, and in my oil to prevent heavy residue buildup in the crankcase. No other engine treatment works as quickly and effectively as Seafoam. My absolute favorite for preventing engine problems or troubleshooting and reviving engines, always.
Help your engine run better and last longer. Go to seafoamworks.com.
Job after job, you push productivity to the limit. That's why your Case construction fleet deserves the best protection available. #1 engine oil, formulated for oxidation and deposit control and extended drain intervals. Give your equipment the right tools for the job with genuine lubricants from Case Construction. Only available from your Case dealer.
Believe the hype, as Wits Racing Products has all you need to get RC cars dialed in with Hyperglide ceramic bearings and other high-performance products for the competitive RC racer. From the shop to the track, increased drivetrain, reduce friction, Hyperglide along to just go faster with Wits Racing Products.
Perfection isn't easily achieved. It takes hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Through their commitment to excellence, Sage Fruit Company has been supplying customers with the best tree fruit in the Pacific Northwest for over 3 generations. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide consistent, high-quality apples and pears all year long. Look for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
And we welcome you back live to the Sage Fruit stage here at Davenport Speedway. Final night of competition here at the My Place Hotels Quad Cities 150, presented by Hoker Trucking, the World of Outlaw Case Construction Equipment Late Models, and the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series presented by Toyota. Joining us up here on the stage, they call him B-Shep on the street, Brandon Sheppard, 4-time Outlaw champ. You just told me, pretty happy with last night's run. Two podium finishes to kick off the week, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. The first 2 days we want to win them races, obviously, but our consistency has been really good and set us up good for tonight for the big race. So confidence is pretty high going into tonight. It all boils down to winning that heat race, I think, and starting up front and being able to manage your tires and take care of your equipment till the last 30 laps or so.
Now, 2023 has been a unique opportunity for you, pretty much starting the new team from scratch. What has been some of the challenges with that just from the beginning to get to that point where you are right now?
Not having a notebook's been the biggest thing for as far as the cars go, because everything's different. The shocks, the cars, the motors, crew, everything has been different, and it's all been a new challenge for me. So just managing the team and everything that goes along with all that has been tricky. And on-track stuff's been, we've been building the notebook and trying a lot of new things, and just trying to develop a good program that works for me. And we're getting there. Our consistency's been good. We've won a few races, so it's definitely hasn't been a bad year, but it's not what we're used to. So we're definitely always striving to get better and looking to perform better. So we're gonna keep working our tails off and see if we can get there.
Is it difficult to kind of, when you get strapped in, to put that stuff aside and focus on driving the car, as opposed to, maybe just rolling in with your helmet bag type of situation where you don't have to worry about managing a team or dealing with logistics and things like that when you get behind the wheel?
As soon as we strap in, I forget about all that stuff. But, at the end of the day, it's a challenge, and I enjoy the challenge. And, being able to do things on my own, and obviously with the help of Longhorn and Bill Steen and my whole team, it's been a really fun year. Honestly, we've it's been up and down, but at the end of the day, we've had some success, and we've had some consistency, and we've learned a lot about the race cars. So just super excited for the end of the year and for next year.
Now, for you, Davenport Speedway is a place you've always had success at, no matter what car you've been in. Of course, with the 2 podiums already this weekend as well. What do you like about racing here at Davenport the most?
Man, you can't argue with the way the track races. It's a fun place. It's really wide. It's unique, very round, and a lot of momentum comes into play here. So, just keeping your speed up through the corners and all that. So, that's something that I've kind of been good at in the past, and it, no matter what car I'm in, kind of carries over to here. So this is a place we've had some success, so we've been able to transfer a little bit of the driving stuff and stuff like that over to this place, and with the new car and everything. So hopefully we can keep it up and just stay consistent, and we've been getting consistent at all the different tracks we go to. And I think going back to the challenges that I'm facing, that's one of the big things, is being able to be consistent in different parts of the country and different tracks, and not having a notebook. So it's been a challenge, but it's been a lot of fun. And this place has always been good to us, and it's always been a lot of fun to race on. Kai always gives us a good racetrack, and usually multiple groove racing. So we're looking forward to tonight.
I think 4 career wins at Davenport. Mike could probably tell me if I'm right or wrong. And one of the few, if not the only one, that's won on the quarter mile as well as the half mile here. Which one would you prefer?
I'm a short track guy, so I like the quarter mile. But the half mile was always fun here too. Just the quarter mile always produces better racing, so definitely like that one better.
Now, for you, of course, as a 4-time Outlaw champion, you know the rigors are going up and down the road with this tour, and what has it been like this year, as opposed to others? Has there been any differences, or just kind of business as usual?
It's been pretty much business as usual. Obviously, I've had to drive the truck a little bit more, and I bring my wife to a lot of the races with the T-shirt trailer and stuff. So that's been new for us. But overall, it's been a great year. It's been fun, and we're really enjoying racing right now. So,
trying to get to Victory Lane still, my friend. A new team. I mean, how big would it be for you to get back to Victory Lane for the first time with this team at a place like Davenport, where you've had so much success in the past, and then that $30,000 check coming along with it?
Yeah, man. The competition is just so tough across the board in dirt late model racing right now. Any win you can get means a lot, but here in front of this big crowd, they always got a great crowd, and I got a lot of fans here, I feel like. So it definitely means the world to me and my team, and obviously to get the first official Outlaw win of the year would mean the world to us too. So.
Now, we go into tonight, 80 laps, $30,000 on the line. I've seen you in many long-distance races. Like you mentioned before, it's all about managing tires. How tough is that going to be? Because we saw that was the case last night, even the 35-lap race too.
Yeah, for sure. This place is, when it gets dirty and crummy like it has been the past couple nights, it's pretty easy to tear your right rear tire up. So I'd say the first part of this race will be kind of that way. So we're going to have to take care of our stuff a little bit and go hard, but don't overdo your stuff too early. When the track gets slick late in the race, you need that tire to be there. So you know, I guess part of it is you're going to have to bide your time, and hopefully other guys wear their tires out before you do, and hopefully be there at the end where you can make a move.
We've seen with the 32 car the first two nights, sweeping the first two nights, really go to the top early in the night. It seemed like where he was the best was around the outside part of the racetrack, even in that first heat race that we were watching back on Thursday. Is it a situation now where you guys kind of look at it and go like, man, we need to be better here. We need to be better here. I need to be able to move around a little bit more, or do we just kind of commit and say, hey, this is what we're going with?
You know, the first night I was able to make some moves top, middle, bottom, wherever I needed to go. So I feel like our balance is pretty good to where we could run the top if we needed to. But, you know, when you're starting far back like we have the past couple nights, you know, you just got to kind of go where they're not. And fortunately enough, a lot of the guys that were in front of me the past couple nights would kind of overdrive a little bit and let me get in the bottom there and make some moves. And then, you know, also, like I said, I passed a few cars in the middle and the top too, but I haven't really had that clean air to see how fast we can really be up top. But like I said, as good as our balance has been this weekend so far, I think we got a pretty good car.
Now, one thing I want to take a look at, I know you and I have talked a number of times. You're not a numbers guy by any stretch of the imagination, but you are the most accomplished driver in series history. You know, what does that mean to you to be in that company, even though you know you got a long way to go with this series?
Yeah, man, it means the world to me to be able to say that I've accomplished all that. But, you know, like I said, this year's a new venture for us, and all the new challenges that come on, the wins are a lot harder to come by right now. And like I said, there's a lot of tough competition out there. Everybody's really good. And obviously Bobby's been really dominant this year. So, you know, for me, it's just getting the consistency there and putting myself in position where if something happens to go my way, we can be there and take advantage of an opportunity. So, you know, maybe we haven't had the best car to beat the 32 every night, but the past couple months, I feel like our consistency's been there, and we've been able to sneak in front of them a few times. And, you know, like I said, just being consistent and taking care of your equipment and just being there at the end is, especially with the long race tonight, I feel like that's where we're going to shine, hopefully. And at the end of the past two nights, at the end of the races, we've been, you know, one of the fastest cars on the track. So confidence is up going into the night. But, you know, like I said, it's new year. You know, we're basically restarting. So we want to get back on track with the success that we were having and try to get that back and win some races.
Racing with the Extreme Outlaw Midget Series. Do you guys run out there when the midgets get ready for their feature event and maybe keep an eye on how these kids are running around this quarter mile?
Oh, they're definitely fun to watch for sure. You know, I raced a midget back in 2010, 2011, a little bit here and there. So it's something that's always been kind of fun and fun for me to watch anyway. I didn't have a whole lot of fun driving them, but it's definitely fun to watch. But, you know, there's a few guys that I know that race the midgets and stuff, and I know a few of the crew guys too. So it's cool to watch. And then my cousin, Jake Newman, he raced a midget for a long time, and now he's in sprint car stuff. And so I always try to watch him and them guys as much as I can. You know, they put on a pretty good show too. So.
Now, for you, one thing that's a little unique, there's times you get to step on the racetrack with your family also on some of these races when you're not racing with the Outlaws. You know, just what's that like to be able to share those moments together?
It's really cool, you know, just, you know, we've built a really great program here with Sheppard Riggs Racing, and just to have them be involved with it, it means the world to me, and I hope it means the world to them too. You know, I think it does. My kids really enjoy coming to the races, and my wife really enjoys coming to the races, so definitely means a lot to me to have, you know, my dad and my grandpa and my wife and you know, the whole Riggs family be involved. And just we haven't had the success that we wanted, or that I feel like we need to have to make them proud, but that's the goal at the end of the day, so we'll get there.
Well, good luck tonight, my friend. 30,000 on the line, a place where you've won before and have had a lot of success, and have some fun tonight, Mr. Sheppard.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Brandon Sheppard, the four-time World of Outlaw late model champion. You can see him tonight live on Dirt Vision as he will tackle this bad fast quarter mile here at Davenport Speedway. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Bobby Pierce will be up here on the Sage Fruit stage as we roll on with a pre-race show live from Iowa.
This is a story of grit. The kind of grit that built America. 180 years of grit reborn to help our customers win. We're the new Case.
Dylan Thompson, Chase Motorsports, Coach and Trailer Sales, Paducah, Kentucky. If you're in the market for a like-new, pre-owned motorhome or trailer, give us a call today or check us out at chasecoach.com. Lots of inventory in stock, normally something to fit every budget. Financing available, we deliver nationwide, and we accept trade-ins too. I would love to earn your business.
Perfection isn't easily achieved. It takes hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Through their commitment to excellence, Sage Fruit Company has been supplying customers with the best tree fruit in the Pacific Northwest for over 3 generations. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide consistent, high-quality apples and pears all year long. Look for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
It's orientation day. Welcome to the team.
Who wants to race?
I like this team.
Be part of something greater. Toyota. Let's go places.
Back live here at Davenport Speedway, Davenport, Iowa, the Sage Fruit Stage. Glad you're with us. It is the final night of competition for the My Place Hotels Quad Cities 150, presented by Hoker Trucking. The driver looking to sweep the weekend here at Davenport, sitting to my right. That is Bobby Pierce, driver the number 32, a winner on Thursday night, winner last night. Thank you for coming by, my friend. But tell me about the first 2 nights, because it looked like you guys were hooked up pretty good.
Oh, definitely. The car's been very fast lately, and really all year. You know, it's been a great transition into Longhorn with Bilstein shocks and all that. And you know, this track here, it's always been a track we've been good at, and you know, now we got just a little bit better of an edge, I think. And you know, we'll see if we can get her done tonight too. It's going to be tough, but you know, 80 laps is a lot longer of a race than these 35 lappers we've been doing. But tire management's going to come into play, and you know, we'll see if we can hit the setup right again and, you know, get our 8th win in a row. It's be very, very tough, but see if we can do it.
8th win in a row. You mentioned 10th World of Outlaws win in 2023. You're the first driver to go double-digit wins since Brandon did it back in 2020. Just, you know, to be in that, you know, you add Josh Richards, Darrell Lanigan, another one to do it. To be in that company, you know, it's got to be pretty awesome for you.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. You know, I got a lot of respect for the World of Outlaws and all the guys that I've run in the past. You know, getting up and down the road to all these places we've been to, it's not easy, and especially running a lot of the other races like I've been running. We're up to like 75 races now this year, and it'll be like 100 and something by the end. But yeah, you know, the Outlaws is super tough, especially this year with the addition of a lot of new guys and a lot of guys in the series. You know, like take Brandon for example. He's won numerous championships, and Yeah, it's tough night in, night out. You can't really you got to be on your game every time you're out there. So there's a lot of variables, especially in dirt track racing, and to go out there and get that many wins, it says a lot. And I got to thank my crew and everyone for their hard work. Everything starts in the shop with preparation, and got to have good team chemistry, and we all work well together. We do our roles pretty good, and it shows it out there on the racetrack, and I just do the best I can with what I got. And if you're there at the end of the day, it's awesome, and we're just going to try to keep picking away at it, see how many wins we can get to by the end of the year.
What is it about Davenport Speedway? I mean, you guys, you've raced here a lot. I mean, I think like over 22 times you've raced here now, four wins. But what is it about this racetrack? I know, last year you were second. Was this one that we had kind of circled on the list of like, man, I'm not messing around when we get back to Davenport?
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely, we've been to a lot of tracks that I don't know at all, and it's great to get to places you do know. And like you said, I have raced a lot here, especially the last few years. This has become probably one of the greatest tracks. It normally puts on really good shows, and you always kind of can count on it to have a couple lanes to choose from when you're out there racing. So, that's what you want as a driver. You hate going to some places where, if it gets 2 lanes of racing, that's great for it. But this place, you kind of expect 3-wide racing sometimes, and that's what we like. So, if you got a good car and if you're able to get through the field, you like them tracks, you can come from the back to the front. So this is probably one of them tracks you can do that.
Now, one of the things about tonight, we talked to Brandon earlier, and I know you and I talked about it last night. Tire management is going to be huge in this 80-lap race, no question about it. Last night you were on a harder tire than everyone else, and it ended up paying off for you. Is that going to be the case tonight, or are you just going to have to take a look at it again on a case-by-case basis?
80 laps, I think mostly everyone will probably be on a hard tire, especially with the midgets here. They get the track burning a little bit too, and but, you have seen it in the past sometimes if that bottom is muddy enough, if they prep it a lot and water it a lot, maybe you can make a soft tire work. But, it kind of gave us some good testing for tonight, just to see how that 4 would react. And I actually burned it up pretty good, but I think I just had to abuse it so much for it to go because the guys on the soft tires were pulling away from me, so I had to get going. And it was good to try that out so we get a good setup for our car for tonight. And those guys haven't really tried the hard tire yet, so they might be, might hurt them in the long run.
Going back to your heat race on Thursday, you were one of the first guys that day to just go right to the top in the heat race, and then drove around guys and got the win. And then in the feature event, same thing, back up on top. Friday, kind of the same thing as well. Is that kind of what we're thinking here tonight? Are we setting the car up for the top? I mean, I know 80 laps, you're going to be in lap traffic, if you're running up front. So how does that change setup at all, if any?
Yeah, you definitely got to watch the racetrack as always, especially when I think the midgets go before us again tonight. And last night they prepped the racetrack, and I think it was really pretty good. I know the 30 laps of midgets. I don't know. I think they're 30 laps again tonight, but they'll definitely burn up the racetrack a little, and they get all the way up there. They hang their right rear tire off the edge, and before you know it, there's not any cushion left up there. So there's a lot of banking. You can kind of momentum it, even if it's just slick. But it's very finicky. If that bottom is just a tenth better than the top, every lap, that means a lot, and you gotta be maneuverable. So we don't want to specifically set up our car for one spot, but this is kind of one of them racetracks where it's such a far way around the top, and the bottom is such a short way around that. Gearing and really the banking, the bottom almost banks the opposite way and the top kicks up a lot. So it is pretty different. You can set up for either one, but you kind of want to be maneuverable.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Now, for you coming into tonight, 126-point lead over Chris Madden. Time's starting to wind down as you're moving closer to that first championship. One, you can keep the Illinois streak going with Brandon, you, and Dennis, but what would it mean for you to be able to grab that first national touring championship?
Oh man, it'd mean a lot. All my crew guys, everyone back at the shop, and just supporters, sponsors, fans. Everyone wants to see me win it. That supports me. They know it'd mean a lot. I've never won a national championship before, and by the way it's looking, if we keep it up, we can seal a deal. But I want to have that hefty point lead going into the South. I know Chris and some guys that, I don't really have a whole lot of experience, especially it's been a long time since I've been to Charlotte. We raced 3 nights there, but yeah, it'd be super cool, especially it's a lot of money too at the end of the day, but just to be a national champion, I mean, that's kind of what our goals were this year. Really just to finish like top 5 and stuff, see how it goes. But then we were clicking off them wins and everything and seeing how good we were. And, our goals changed pretty quickly to, all right, we want to win this deal. And it's a tough deal to win. It's more than just going out there and winning races. It's the whole thing included, getting to the racetrack. Like I mentioned, you venturing out to a lot of new places and we were in New York and Florida twice and up there in North Dakota. We've gotten around an awful bit, so it's just the whole deal, and it'd mean an awful lot. It'd be my biggest championship win I've ever had for sure. And World of Outlaws it's just there's so much history with the Outlaws. I've always wanted to run something like this, just didn't know when. And I go back to when when I was a little kid and playing video games like the O2 sprint cars. And sometimes when you're a little kid, things like that they stick with you for a while, and you just want to do some things like that. So it's pretty cool that here we are today, and we'll see if we can get it done.
Now, one thing I want to touch on, too, you mentioned Florida. I think people forget you couldn't have got off to a worse start in the season either. You had a couple of mechanical failures that just didn't go your way in the first 2 races. And then Talladega, the same thing happened after you took the lead. We could be looking at a completely different animal here if those first 3 races go your way.
Oh, yeah, and we've kind of said that all year, and especially when we were trying to get back up into the points hunt there. We kept looking at that. My first 2 nights of Volusia were DNS, basically. I raced the Big Frog Motorsports car, and a lot of times I joke around, like, if it wasn't for them having the car sitting there available to hop in, and I luckily got the emergency provisional because a few of the guys made it in through the B main. And I hopped in that car, and they didn't even change anything on it all night. Had the same tires on it that they qualified and ran the heat race with, and their driver at the time didn't make the show. And they're like, yeah, you can hop in and make a lap or whatever. And I made more than a lap. I came from 28th to 17th, just kind of rolling around the bottom there. And so, little things like that. We were like, what if it comes down to a couple points? And it was because they let me race their car. Just crazy how things like that happen. And you mentioned Talladega. That was a big heartbreak. That was a big race to win that slipped away with a broken wheel. And, yeah, we could be a lot farther in the lead, but, that's how things go. It's points racing. And so far, if we can just keep it up, it's been phenomenal. We've been not only just finishing up front, but we've been winning the races. So that's a big points jump every night. And, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Closing in on that championship, as you guys are talking about, is it to a point now where you're kind of like, let's just get this thing wrapped up? Like you said, I just want to get a big enough lead, wrap it up. I don't have to worry about it anymore, because when you're trying to get that championship, now it's within sight. Is it one of those things where you're like, man, let's just cancel the last 7 races, man? I want to end this deal right now.
I mean, I'm pretty excited to get to Charlotte and some other places, but yes, you do think that, but also, like, I've competed for points championships with the Summer Nationals a lot, and I've won it 5 times, and there's been several times where it can come down to the wire, and you're kind of nervous thinking about it. It might affect your driving, but then there's other times where you got such a big lead and you're so calm, it makes you a lot better. And that's kind of the situation we're in right now. We're really, like, I haven't thought much about the points lately just because we have such that big lead. Now, I know it can close quickly, as, I closed the gap and now we're in the lead. But right now we're pretty calm, and we're just focused on going and trying to win races, not having to worry about it. It's pretty nice, to get that big safety net.
You mentioned the 2002 PS2 World of Outlaw game. Who was your go-to driver?
The best game there ever was.
Right. Well, pretty good, yeah. Who was your go-to driver?
Tyler Walker.
Was it Tyler Walker? He was in the Ratback car, right? Yeah, Tyler Walker.
That's right.
And now we have our own video game, which I'm sure you kind of dig as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's another thing too. You think of all the things they're doing like that. It's crazy how I was saying how when I was a kid back then, little things like that really touch you and they stay with you. And I think about it, when they made a game, I think back in 2012 also, or somewhere around that time. And now, especially with my car in the game, that's really cool. But, if it's kids growing up that might not even know anything about racing at all, and they go to GameStop and buy the game and play it, maybe you've made a fan for life. So that's pretty cool what they're doing with that. And it gives the sponsors some more publicity. And it's a really, really cool game. I've played it a few times, even lately now since the update. And it's fun to get on there and play around with some buddies and not take it as serious as in real life.
When I jump on with my kids, it's serious. Nobody's fooling around.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Bobby, one more question I got for you. One thing you get to do this with your family. You and your dad are always side by side. Your mom's in the merchandise trailer all the time. That's got to be a pretty cool experience to be able to travel cross country with them.
Oh, definitely. We've been together for probably almost every single race. My dad, my mom, and it takes a little small community to do all this stuff. And whether it's my mom taking care of the T-shirts, she does a great job with that and them getting it to the racetrack. And my dad's always been there with me. We've got the great team chemistry thing going on there now. I think we both know what we're thinking without even having to really talk much about it, and he's been that great coach for me throughout the years. And I didn't always used to like it when I was younger, but now I see that it was pretty important. And it's a great deal, and we all get along great. And my girlfriend Abby, she's been with me a lot here lately too. And anytime we can have family be there with you, support you, that goes a long way.
Well, appreciate you coming by the Sage Fruit Stage. Good luck here tonight going for the hat trick, Bobby Pierce. Have fun out there for 80 laps, my friend. 30K going to the winner.
That's right. We're going to give it our best, see what happens, and hopefully we're there at the end. We really want to get that broom out and sweep the weekend.
Well, that's going to wrap up our pre-race show here on the Sage Fruit Stage, live from Davenport Speedway. Glad that you are with us. For those of you watching Dirt Vision, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, you'll be live with Dave Reef at the Dirt Vision studios. So for the entire crew here at the racetrack, thank you so much for watching. That's Mike Warren. I'm Rob Klepper. Thanks again to Bobby Pierce and the rest of our guests. Enjoy the show here tonight from Davenport.
To win here at Kokomo Speedway, it's going to be Cannon McIntosh, 08, victorious tonight.
I use Seafoam motor treatment in my truck's gas tank to keep fuel injectors clean, and in my oil to prevent heavy residue buildup in the crankcase. No other engine treatment works as quickly and effectively as Seafoam. My absolute favorite for preventing engine problems or troubleshooting and reviving engines, always.
Help your engine run better and last longer. Go to seafoamworks.com.
Job after job, you push productivity to the limit. That's why your Case construction fleet deserves the best protection available. #1 engine oil, formulated for oxidation and deposit control and extended drain intervals. Give your equipment the right tools for the job with genuine lubricants from Case Construction. Only available from your Case dealer.
Believe the hype, as Wits Racing Products has all you need to get RC cars dialed in with Hyperglide ceramic bearings and other high-performance products for the competitive RC racer. From the shop to the track, increase drivetrain, reduce friction, hyperglide along to just go faster with Witt's Racing products.
Perfection isn't easily achieved. It takes hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Through their commitment to excellence, Sage Fruit Company has been supplying customers with the best tree fruit in the Pacific Northwest for over 3 generations. They work hard on the farm, in the packing facilities, and with their retail partners to provide consistent, high-quality apples and pears all year long. Look for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.